my channel, and I hope you guys had an amazing Thanksgiving if you guys celebrate Thanksgiving. Mine was not that great. I unfortunately had a cold, so I stayed home, but you know, things could be worse. I cannot believe we are already in December, almost the end of the year. So crazy how this year literally flew by. Hope you guys like my little Christmas decorations back there. Nothing too crazy. I also rearranged my K-pop albums a bit. So I wanted to come back with a very festive and colorful look. Very Christmas, obviously. So I went ahead and used this one right here, which is the BeautyBay Wilderness palette. My first time trying it out. And you guys will see how this performs and my thoughts on it on the end. But yeah, this is going to be a super short video. I'm just going to do the eyes, not the base or anything, super basic. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this fun and festive look, trying to get myself out of this rut. I'm not gonna lie, it has been a very interesting December. You know, Christmas can be a very joyous time or a very hard time because there's a lot of, you know, hardships that come along with the holidays. There's also people that have experienced losses, you know, all those kind of feelings just come out, and it's just, you know, also make sure that your mental health is in check, and also check everyone that you care for and all of your loved ones to see how they're really doing. It really makes such a difference, even though they say that they're fine, even though they're not. It's just nice to know that there are people that do reach out and do care for you. Just gotta take one day at a time, hope and pray that everything goes well. Like I said, check on everyone that you love, you know, their mental health and everything. So yeah, that's my little pep talk. So if you guys want to see how I created this fun and festive look, then just keep on watching. The first shade we're going to be using from the Wilderness palette is Leaf, this olive green shade, which is named very appropriately. Taking this on my Anastasia A10 brush, and I'm going to be patting this shade. It is pretty pigmented off the bat, but you do have to build this up for sure. It looks a little patchy when you first apply it, but when you start blending it in, it starts to look more diffused and blended. So I'm very lightly taking this pretty close to the brow bone, but not all the way, as you can see, and keep it very rounded. I'm just going to keep packing on this shade to the opacity that I want. Taking my Morphe MB23, blending out these edges. Alright, second transition shade, going to the one next to it, which is Eucalyptus, a forest green. With the same brush, I just cleaned it off from the first transition shade, and as you guys can see, this is very pigmented. So I am stamping it on, mainly on the outer corner, kind of tapping it halfway through, and then start blending. Bringing it towards the first transition shade so we can create that gradient. Going back with a little bit of the Leaf shade, the first transition, just very lightly going back. MB23 once again, just going back to further blend. I'm going to cut my crease with my P. Louise base and my Colourpop E3 brush. I went for a thicker cut crease, as you guys can see. Because I have hooded eyes, I really want this lid shade to pop and show. As you guys can see, you kind of have to create that faux crease. As you guys can see where my eye naturally creases, you wouldn't be able to see anything, so I went way above it. And I did go a little too much this time, but I did it on purpose because I really want this lid shade to show. It's stunning. So I'm gonna go ahead and put on the lid shade, which is Lime. This is gorgeous, gorgeous greeny gold shade. You guys can see. Oh, stunning. I'll swatch it for you guys too. How beautiful is that? This color is applied a lot better and more pigmented with your finger, which I'm going to use. I discovered this because I tried using a brush on this side and it wasn't coming out like I wanted. So I went with my finger, and then like to get those really close edges, I went in with a brush. But first I'm going to lay the actual shade down. As you guys can see, it is so reflective and metallic. It is intense, but it's so freaking beautiful. I love green so much. I know it intimidates a lot of people, and there's obviously different types of greens. There's like, I would say clownish greens, and then there's more wearable greens. There's more brighter greens, deeper greens. It all depends, you know, on the mood and obviously your skin tone as well. This shade does have a little bit of fallout, so I'm just going to pack it on these edges right here. I will say that it does work with a brush. It just takes a lot more packing to get that pigmentation like with the finger. All right, going with a little bit more of the P. Louise base to create that shadow wing kind of effect. Going to start right here, start bringing it upward. And fill it in. Don't go all the way, just about almost halfway. Go into Eucalyptus, that second transition shade, and go right on top. And this does take a little bit of time, but be very careful as well. That way you don't get this dark green all over the lid and literally drown out your lid shade. I'm just blending in this outer part right here. Just very lightly start creating like a slant as well, and go a little bit over the lid shade, but not completely, just so it can create like that gradient. To deepen it up just a little bit on the outer corner, I'm gonna go into Ivy. This one right here, it's like a dark, deep green, but with a blue hint to it. I'm just going to concentrate this right here just to fill in that gap and create a little bit more depth and dimension. Probably can't even really tell, honestly. I'm gonna go back with a little bit of the lime shade, that lid shade, and just tap right over the green. Cleaning up the little fallout that we had. So that is the top portion of the eyes completed. I'm gonna go ahead and do the rest of my base off camera, and then we're gonna figure out what we're gonna do for the lower lash line, so I will be right back. Something literally just bit me on my finger. Ow, it hurts. Did not expect that, but anyway, I am back. The full face is done. I went ahead and did the other eye off camera. I went very festive today. As you guys can see, I went ahead and did a red on the lower lash line, but nothing too crazy without it looking sickly, because obviously if you do it a little too much, it can look very sickly. So I think it's just enough. It's not too blown out, because obviously when you go blown out, that can look very scary and it can be a mess. So went very subtle on the lower lash line, at least subtle in my eyes. For the water line, I went ahead and used a black eyeliner. I used this one from Anastasia. I didn't use Colourpop today. Look at me. I used this one from Anastasia, like I said, and this is in the shade Dark Side. It's very nice and pigmented. It's very comparable to the Colourpop, but obviously this is a little bit more expensive. For the red shade, I used this one right here, which is Raw. I was really contemplating using this one, but I think it's a little too bright. I mean, you do what you want, but I want to go with something a little bit more subtle, even though technically red isn't a wearable shade, but it's still very pretty if you know how to use it properly. So I'm going to go in with this one, which is a little bit of a more deeper tone. And once again, I'm using the Morphe M506. Tap off as much as you can because you don't want this falling all over your face. And I'm going to stamp this very closely to the lower lash line and bring it all the way across. Definitely don't drag it too low because that's when it can look very messy. Blend it a little bit with the transition shade from the upper lid. And as you guys can see, it is super pigmented. So a little goes a long way. And to put a little bit of sparkle on top of the red, I'm only gonna go about halfway. I'm gonna go into this shade right here, which is Heat. Just bringing it about halfway. Just so we can have a little bit of sparkle, you know, a little more festive. And lastly, we are going with this shade right here for the inner corner, which is Ray. Go ahead and swatch it. It's a very unique shade. It has like green, blue, gold. It's really, really pretty and reflective. I'm gonna put it right here. It's really pretty, but as you guys can see, it is very light and see-through. This on the inner corner. So this is the completed eye look. What do you guys think? Super fun, pretty, and festive. I love how it turned out. It's very colorful. Am I going to be wearing this type of look on Christmas Eve and Christmas? Absolutely not. But it's still really fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. I really don't know what I'm going to be wearing for Christmas, to be honest. Probably something neutral, basic. But I really loved doing this video for you guys. I hope you liked it as well. I did really enjoy this BeautyBay Wilderness palette. This is the first time I'm using their formula, and it's not the best, but it's not the worst. It did take a little bit more blending, but once you got it there, they blended really nicely. The pigmentation of these shimmers is insane. Better with the finger, just, you know, to let you know. And as you guys saw, I can't wait to use the rest of the shades. This palette is still available. When I got it though, I don't know if it's because it was cheaper then or I had a discount code, and it was like, I can't remember if it was 12 or 15 at the time. I just checked right now and they went up on the price a bit. It went up to $18, which is still very affordable, but it was more affordable when it first came out, I'm not gonna lie. But honestly, if you guys are looking for a color story like this, which is beautiful for all year round, definitely have some fun colors in here. I can't wait to play with these blues. Then I think it's just worth it. And especially that is, like I said, it's very affordable and very comparable to other brands. So yeah, this was really nice, and I'm so glad I have this in my collection now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this quick eye tutorial on this look, and if you guys did, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. I am so happy that we already met our goal for the end of the year, which was 1,600 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for helping me get to that goal before the end of the year, and we still have a couple of weeks left before the end of the year. So if you guys still want to subscribe and support me, I would really appreciate it. But thank you guys so much, and I will also leave all of my other social media links down below so you guys can follow me on there and support me as well. And I don't have anything else to say except I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.